Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tim, and today we are going to be working on some stuff for my Rhino here that we worked on in the previous video. I have a electric power steering kit here for it that I got on Amazon, so we're going to install that. And I also have a cab heater kit that I'm going to put in it. And here's all the parts for that. That's the hoses, the heater kit, all that good stuff. And I do have some soft doors, but they're inside, and we are going to put them on as well, so we'll have a full cab so we can go cruise around when it's cold out. So that's what we're going to work on today. We're going to install the heater kit here first. So I got the hood taken off, which I just tossed on the ground. Just going to take off this windshield, this lower windshield, and this in preparation for the electric power steering as well. I feel like we'll just get her out of the way right now. So just got the wrench here. We're going to take off this, all these bolts, pop it off, pop this off. Then we're going to get started. Probably start drilling the holes for the heater in there. And at the same time, I do have new coolant hoses for in underneath here, underneath my storage bag here. These radiator hoses down there, I have new ones. So I figure while I drain the coolant, I'll do all of them at the same time. And I got new coolant bought here, just got some premix. I'll just throw that in after, and that should be good. Get a little container for this stuff. I had to remove the coolant reservoir for the heater kit install, and the instructions don't really line up completely perfect. We got the cowl off, that's for the electric power steering, but came underneath here. Got two holes drilled right there. We're gonna run the hoses up, and then we're gonna mount the heater up underneath the dash here. Where are the marks? One's right here. Okay, one's here. You want to check the other side? Make sure the wiring's out of the way. Okay, here's the progress with the heater install. Try to get this light pitch here. Got it going. There's the vents. Took a little while to get it through the firewall. I drilled a few holes down there. This light is really bright. Got it mounted up underneath the dash, all screwed in. Doesn't interfere with my cup holders. Get the wires run up through. There's the other side with the hoses through. Got them hose clamped on. Right there, going in the back of the heater. And we still got to do a little work on this. Vent comes out the bottom, and then it connects up. You have the two heater vents here, but then you have more that can come up through here and then on the other side, so we'll do them after. But so far it's going good, just taking a lot longer than I thought, but it blends in. It looks pretty good in here. Of course, you know, I have to take all the seats out again in the console. All the wiring is all tidied up, as you can tell with the distribution blocks my dad put in. All the fuses are back in their spots. A couple more down here for the lights. So that's where we're at now. Here. mounts on like that. But it came with everything, all the wides and everything to tie into the coolant hoses, and drill bits. All that's installed. We'll do the power steering. Here's how I got my new coolant hoses I bought. So while we take all the hoses off and splice, I'll just replace them with these new silicones. And the electric power steering, like, comes with its own module. Hopefully that will be easier than this one. I won't drill so many holes. These are the new silicone hoses I bought on Amazon. And since we got to drain the coolant out of the Rhino, to install the Y connectors down here on these hoses, I figure we'll just, replace the hoses while we're at it, because this is an 06, so it'd be nice to have new hoses. So right now we're just gonna take this bottom hose off, get a drain pan, drain it all out, go from there. All the hoses routed. I didn't film much because it's pretty frustrating. These new hoses are almost slightly too small. It was really hard to get on. As you can see, it's kind of hitting the steering boot, so I'm gonna have to do something with that. And that one goes down there, and it's tied off up into the heater core. Like, you can't even see anything, so. Really hard to get in here. Comes out of that radiator, it ties in, goes to the heater core. That goes down. These are the new hoses, so I cut the new hoses, put the Y pieces on. They were really hard to get on, like really hard. Using oil and wiggling them on. So that's what that looks like. And we'll just have to wire it in. These are the wires for it. And I got to put the coolant reservoir back, but it's really tight fit. Instructions, they weren't great. So here's the heater thing. We tested it, it does work. Got all them connections on. And I'm just going to leave this like it is. This heater duct out of the bottom, I'm just going to let it blow onto the floor because it's kind of a hassle to route it. So I think that should be fine right out of the heater itself. Just kind of blow on the floor and up around. Because you'll have these for, blowing at you. So I think that'll be fine. And I was going to do the rest of the coolant hoses, but after they were so hard to get at, and all these are, like, there's the coolant pipe here, and it goes underneath. Then the other one's there, and it goes down below. I'll probably get them another time. They were really difficult, so we'll leave that for now, and do the power steering tomorrow. We repositioned the coolant reservoir because the instructions were really terrible. It didn't mention to put it back. It wouldn't fit here anyway because all the shit's in the way. So made this aluminum bracket that just crosses the frame here, and drilled some holes in it, mount the coolant tank here. These instructions really give you this template to mount them side by side. In my version, the 2006, it was easier to basically, I drilled my hole right here because that would have been in the frame. The frame is behind that right there, so I guess, it's a generic kit. That wasn't very good. That's done. So all of it looks like that now. It's mounted, topped up the coolant for now. And before I start everything to get it fully done, we've moved on to the electric power steering. We're just in the process of moving this outer shaft. We unbolted the steering column, and that's kind of where we got to right now. But these instructions seem to be a lot better. So they tell you what to unbolt, what to use, and this is where we are now, right on this step. So, yeah. It's aluminum. It's probably too long. So right now we're putting, of course you can't see anything, it's just a giant blob. There's this steering shaft here, if you guys can see that. It's going down to the lower pinion. It's not a how-to video because I don't know how to do it, but this is how I think you have to do it. Of course you can't see anything because this thing's in the way. Okay, we got the rack and pinion, this onto the shaft. I messed up the other bolt. I'll show it to you so you don't have to make the same mistake if you ever going to install electric power steering. I mauled all the threads off it because I didn't realize there's a spot that it goes into. So now we got that on, so I'm just going to tighten this bolt and then we'll carry on. So now that that's tight down there, the shaft comes up through here. Right here. Goes down to the front pinion. And then we're going to finish installing the rest of the stuff that mounts onto right here. Okay, this is the stage we're at with the power steering. Here it is, mount it to the frame. And then the steering column, just mount it on the shaft to the device. It's left loose a little bit, and the pinion down there is connected. The problem is this switch is right where this is supposed to go, and it doesn't say anything in the instructions about how to fit this. Like, where's that switch go? You know what I mean? And you got to connect it to the wheel. There's only so many places this can go. So I take it back about the instructions being good, because it doesn't tell you anywhere in the instructions how to put that. So I don't know. It's supposed to be made for this vehicle, but it doesn't show that it's fitting correctly in this bracket. It goes down there, up behind this brake reservoir, and then this plug is in the way, right where that's supposed to go. If that switch wasn't there, this would go right on. So I am not sure why that is like that. Okay, here it is with the electric power steering installed. Got the module on there. All the wires are hooked up here. All run over to the battery, which is, well, as you can see, it's a giant mess. And the steering joint is connected. Now this little connector that I was showing you earlier, we had to disconnect it because they occupy the same space there. I have to find out where to put this because it goes through this hole right there. So we'll start it up and then we'll bleed the system here now with coolant, and we'll check the electric power steering and see how everything works. Okay, here's everything completed. We had to take these top hoses off again to fill the core of the heater and put them back on. It's a cluster because they're all zip tied out of the way. The steering shaft, which is also new because that's the electric power steering unit right here that we installed. And when I was telling you that little bracket in right in there was where this brake switch, which is to activate the taillights, was. Well, I ended up having to make a bracket and put it to the inside because every time you turn it, this nut on the steering arm would just chew into this and rip it out. So it looks like this now. It comes in from an angle and hooks to the top through a key ring, which it's a lot of fucking around, but it works. And then I just cut the boot around it so it looks semi-factory. And then the heater is there. Putting the push pins back in. Is that right? Under. It's all filled up, so we're gonna take it for a test drive. Okay, we're in the process of installing the soft doors that I got, which is these things. Found it easier to take the roof off. They seem like really thick fabric. Goes on the inside. So we're mounting that right now. It's just Velcro that wraps around the roll bar. Not quite sure what this flap does, but I guess we'll figure that out as we go. Here we go, door open, door closed. Now how it mounts around that door, I'm not quite sure. Doors don't seem too bad, they fit. I know they're only fabric, but they don't make rhinos anymore, so that's kind of what we can do there. About this soft back window, we'll fix that up to the roof. Took the roof panel off. It's really weird looking because it's got this big goofy curve in it, right? See if we can spin it around backwards, maybe it'll fit better. It looks backwards to me. I'm more worried about just wind protection than I am about how it looks.
Yeah.
Because that's how it's supposed to be. Right? Is that recording? It is. Why'd that start recording? So we put the roof on backwards. It gives us more sealage here against the front windshield. Because before there's this big, I'll insert a picture of it. There's a big like open area, like a big mouth. So we put it backwards so it seals up there a lot better. So when you're driving into the wind, you know, it's not all that cold air hits that support and used to blast down inside and blast you in the face. So we'll fix all that after. And then we got this big open area in the back, so we're just gonna see if we can pinch this window back up. And everything's done for this. Then we'll just start using it. So we are all done with the project now. Got the soft doors on. We just took the first spin. The heater does work. Got the heat going. So the heater works nice. And we got it on a rocker switch. This one turns the heater on. I have a little sticker somewhere I'm going to put here for the heater. The lights is that one. Like I said, the heater's this one. That one's the lights. So turn the heater on here, and the heat worked nice. Blew out the bottom, blew out the top. Got the cab enclosed. There's a few drafts that, you know, I'll have to fix up. And soft doors, you know, they're not perfect, but they don't make doors for Rhinos anymore, so I thought it was pretty decent. There's a bit of a draft up here in the front that I'm gonna put something in it to fix it. And then back window here, we got some foam. You know, it looks ugly as shit, but you know, it works, keeps the draft out. Now this was the front of the roof. We turned it around. We had to take the roof off to put the fabric for the doors on. So I found out if we tip it backwards, there's a vent off the back. But on the front here, it seals the windshield a lot better and doesn't let as much draft in. So that's the way I'm gonna run it. And some blotches, just frost. But finish still looks good. Beads, that Cerakote white really beads all that water off the plastic, as you can see. So that's really good. You can still see the mirrors through the plastic. I was a bit worried about that, but you can still see through the mirrors, through the plastic, through the mirrors, all that good stuff. I straightened the steering wheel up. I took it off and I recentered the steering wheel, even though it's hard to tell. It's good to have a center point for it. Probably go for a longer drive here tomorrow. I know this looks ghetto, but it's good for now. I just wanted to use it. Might fix it later. Might not. So that's the project. get ready to spray a bed liner in here. Got this factory Yamaha mat. We'll just pull this out and sand it down. It's all metal. Spraying a little bed liner. So we threw some wood in it today, threw some chains, and it kind of scratched up there. So we'll put a nice coat on it to protect it for summertime when we're throwing wood and all kinds of other shit in it. Almost got the box sanded. I use this thing, but these things work good, but you can tell when you hear it. It's just the metal keeps going around like it's stripped out. See? These things are expensive and they're junk. They work good if you keep it on an angle. As soon as you go straight, it stops. Looks good enough for me. Easy liner, bed liner, and industrial strength coating. That's what I'm going to do this little bed with. The Jeep's done in that, and the bed liner in my truck is also done with this stuff. So if it's good enough for a Jeep out in the elements, good enough to drag shit in my truck bed, it'll be good enough for this. 2 cans should do it because that's all I got. I think it'll look good. Prep spray. Probably have to do this again. Just get some of the dust and shit off. I gotta tape off stuff still. I'd say the worst part is prep. Freaking hate prep work. Well, it looks like my GoPro decided not to record any audio, but I'm starting to do the bed liner right now. I'm doing the first coat. Do 2 cans. Each can's good for about a coat. So I guess, you know, you can tell how much you'd use if you were to do a vehicle, which is quite a lot. But I had the 2 cans, so I lay it on pretty thick. So I'll do 1 coat and then I'll do the other, and it looks really good when it's done. I also find for the best results of spraying this after I've done quite a few jobs with it, it's easier to just do a thick coat like I'm doing now, and then afterwards just go at a further distance away and just kind of dust everything over again. It kind of gives it that nice like truck bed coating texture. This is where I'm spraying it at a distance. This is what gives it that nice truck bed like texture that you see in like a Line X and stuff like that. And I find it works really good when you just do a nice thick coat and you just kind of go over it nice and lightly like this at a distance. I find it works really well. It's one can. I think it looks pretty good. Got one can left. I'm going to throw it on. Why not? Okay, we're doing the second coat. I already started, but I can't record. All the cobwebs, we're done. Done. Nice consistent texture. I'll pull all the tape off now. See how it looks. I think it's pretty good for 2 spray cans. I think it looks really good. So guys, that's the Yamaha Rhino project, and thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed, subscribe and like my video so I get more attention to my channel and I can keep doing these projects. And I appreciate you guys watching.